everyone, and welcome to the Indie Author Life Show, a space dedicated to sharing the unique stories of authors and creatives within the self-publishing space. My name is MG Hunt, and today I'm here with the wonderful indie author Chloe O'Connor, who also goes by the name C. Renee, and we're here today to talk about all that's going on in her writing life and her creative pursuits. So, thank you, Chloe, for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm so excited to get into all that you do because you do a lot of different things as of late, and we'll get into some of your newer pursuits further down in the chat, which do involve some event stuff as well as your
hmm
writing. So,
Yeah.
a wide array of things that you do. So, to kick this all off, can you give us an insight into about yourself and your background and where you grew up?
My name's Chloe, and I grew up in Melbourne, Australia. I'm 31 years old. I am a wife and a mum of two little boys. Just everyday Australian Aussie, kick back
Everyday.
and
Yep.
watch your football and all of that jazz.
Oh, what's your team?
North Melbourne.
No, don't stress. It's all good. One of my close friends is well, the couple is they're very big North Melbourne fans, and I'm always
Yeah,
hyping them up. Don't stress as well because I'm Richmond, so I think we're
yeah.
both
Hubby's
suffering.
yeah, hubby's Hawthorn, so I don't get much of a choice. So.
No. Hilarious. Oh my goodness.
Yes, I'm a
Oh,
bit outnumbered. So yeah, I grew up reading books and I played netball for 12 years and then I decided to, in the twilight phase, I wanted to become like a book blogger. So I decided to read books and then post on I think it was WordPress or something at the time, like back in like 2015 or something like
yeah.
that. And then authors reached out to me. They even like from I can't remember her name. I think it was something Stevens, and she was like a mermaid writer. And
Oh,
she actually sent me two physical copies of her art books from the United States at that time. Yes, to review
wow.
them. And I'm like, oh my
Wow.
God, I feel like so special.
Oh my God. It's
Um,
amazing.
so yeah, I read them. I read books, like Helen Hoover at the time,
Yep.
and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Like I'm getting a lot of interactions. And then one day,
Mm.
just my two characters just popped into my head. I'm like, this is pretty cool. And that at the time, Twilight ventured off, and then 50 Shades came onto the scene, and that's when
Mhm.
my first trilogy kind of sparked, life, I
Ah,
guess.
yeah.
And I wrote my first book in about a year
Wow.
because at the
My
time I didn't
goodness.
know what I was doing, and
Still, a
then
year's great. Awesome.
took me 3 months to write book two and book three, so 3 months each. I know it was crazy.
You
I don't
were
know how
locked
I
in. You were
how
locked
I did
in.
it. Yes, yeah,
Love it.
yeah. Those books will always hold a special place in my heart. So yeah,
Mm.
and so yeah. The Precious Ruby was born in 2017, and I haven't looked back since.
Wow. So it's been a
Yeah.
long journey when you think
Yes, we'll
about it.
be 10 years in January next year. So
I can't, that
I
blows my
know.
mind. That is epic. That is
Yeah, yeah,
so cool to see such a transition because you talk about your books, so where it all began somewhere after the 50 Shades of Grey release, and
yep,
your first foray into writing was more on the romance side of things with, is it
yep, yep,
Precious Ruby, did you say?
yep, yep. Precious
Yeah.
Ruby,
Yeah. And
Precious Topaz, and Precious Diamond is the trilogy that I released.
yes. And then we've taken a bit of a turn now, and we'll get into that further down the
Yeah,
track, into some fantasy related
yes,
things.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Fantasy where is where the heart lies, so I
yeah,
can't complain there. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, you and me both, but to see such a enduring passion for writing for almost coming on to 10 years is
yeah,
special. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just so inspiring, and it looks like you're not slowing down anytime soon.
Oh no, if anything, I'm gearing up. I'm
Ex
ready to go.
exactly, which is what I love. And this is just a testament to how this is something that you can do for as long as you have the passion for. There's no
Yep.
slowing down. It's just so
Yep. And
cool.
if you took time off like I did, so I stopped writing for about 3 years to
Yep.
get married, to have my two kids.
Yeah.
At first, it was really hard to get back into because from releasing your first book in 2017 to releasing a book today, it is so different. There was no
Yeah.
book launches in person, there was no TikTok, there was no YouTube, there was no promo posts on Instagram. It was like going into other authors' groups and just sharing your work. So it's like
Mm.
so different to what it is now. And so I've had to relearn how to do everything. And yeah, I was like a fish out of water.
Absolutely. That is something that I didn't even consider because
Yep.
I think when I started Instagram and TikTok and social media in a fast-paced digital world seemed to be the way to go,
Yes.
especially in-person events. But you've come from a time where it wasn't driven necessarily by social media, is that right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And there was probably maybe one book signing in Victoria once a year. And now we have like, I'm doing like seven this year. Like, it is absolutely insane. And I think that if you were an author when I started writing to now, you kind of have to relearn everything. You kind of have to put
Yeah.
yourself out there more, whereas I was more hidden and more shy about everything. But now I got three cameras on the go at the moment, and I do my TikTok lives every night. And you just got to get yourself out there and go, oh well, this is who I am. So
Love it. But I love the passion for it, though, is that you're willing
yeah,
to adapt, you're willing to
yeah,
grow and learn. And I think that's the only way to be sustainable in
yeah,
this. I guess I know that having a business mindset is not necessarily something that you think about when you are creating your writing and books, but it is something that is kind of necessary when you are a
yes,
self-published
yeah.
author. So,
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I'm a person who likes to be in a shell.
yep.
Yeah, I like the quiet. I like
Hmm.
the calm and the collective.
Yeah.
But every time I jump on like this interview with you today, or going on my lives, or going to a book signing, I get so nervous I could
Oh.
throw up.
That,
Like,
that doesn't come across like legit, and I don't want you to throw up.
no,
So
no, no.
no,
Like
no.
that. It was like that's
But
before like
yeah,
the minute I hit play or hit record, I put
yeah,
this hat on where I have to be
yeah,
like the social butterfly and put
yeah.
myself out there. I've got to be
Mm,
someone different. So
it's exhausting, I can
it
imagine.
is, yes.
Yeah, yeah. But you're doing an incredible job by putting
Yeah,
yourself out there. And it shows that, like, just because you feel those nerves and those butterflies, you're still here. You're still doing it.
exactly. Yep. Yep.
It's
Still kicking
amazing.
on.
That's it. That's it. It's amazing, Chloe. So, but one thing before I should move on, speaking of netball,
Hmm.
because
Yes. Yes.
I love
Yes.
netball too. What
Hmm.
position did you play?
So GD, goal defense, is my home and heart. I mean, I'm a tall girly. I'm very competitive. Like my mom was GD when she played netball in her youth. Like, yeah, it was yes, yeah. And
Wow.
then
Yeah.
I think my early days they put me in center, and I was like, go, 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 go. Like I had
Yes.
the
She's got the
stamina. I had
fast.
like,
Yes.
yeah, I was 16. Like it was good, right? And then as I got older, I'm like, nah, I think I'll stick to my goal defense.
I
Yeah.
think you're in safe company because I was a goalkeeper through
Okay.
and
Yep.
through. So
Yep.
we would have been just
Yes.
like
Yes.
that.
Yep.
Imagine.
Goal besties for sure. Yeah.
If we had been on the same team, we would have kept
Oh,
those shooters at bay.
exactly. Yeah. And it was like so competitive that we actually won the grand final. And it
Awesome.
was really, and then so we went up a division,
Oh yeah.
and then
Oh.
we,
Mm.
oh, it was a bad decision because so we had to play the team we won against in the grand
Yeah.
final because they went up as well.
Yes.
And it
Yes.
was the first time back, new season, first time like versing them since the grand final, and I did my ACL, and that was it. That was my
Oh.
retirement.
Oh my God, you did your ACL. That's brutal. Chloe, oh my goodness. So you never came back.
I did a bit of mixed, maybe one or two games for
Yeah.
like a quarter, but yeah,
Mm,
that was it. It was
no.
like I'm done, and it was funny because I had a gut feeling not to go onto the court that night because I was flying to Ireland in 3 weeks.
And did you make it to Ireland or was it
No, I did, yeah. So I have that when you have that gut feeling, guys, just listen to
just
it
listen to
because
it?
it's nine times out of ten it's correct
Yeah.
because we were short on players already, and I'm like, oh,
Uh,
you know what? I'll just go. Tore my
oh,
ACL. I thought something else happened.
yeah.
Stayed in the emergency department for 12 hours just to be seen. It was all fine.
My
And then I was on
God.
crutches for a week and a half because I'm like, I need to walk to Ireland because we
You
were
need.
3 weeks there, up and down castles, walking around,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then I slipped on because it was in March,
Chloe, oh my
and it
God.
was so icy. I slipped
Oh,
again, and it was like completely tear. 3 months after coming back, had an MRI. It was gone. It was so bad.
I that's a nightmare. That is crazy. That look at you go, the
Yeah.
resilience. You're back. Yeah, I
I mean,
think
it was
yeah. Mm, mm.
the holiday was just adrenaline because I got engaged over there. I had a book signing over there. I met Prince Harry, Meghan Markle. Like,
Oh
I mean, it was
my
the best
God.
holiday ever. Yeah.
That's incredible. We gotta touch base on that, especially with all of those amazing things that you just said. So you pushed through in order to get through to do that
Yes.
book signing, meet Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and
Yeah.
get engaged. Wow.
Yeah.
What a year that was for you. What a
It was
trip.
insane.
There's
Yeah.
some Ireland is like your special place, I feel like.
Yes.
That must be
Yeah.
somewhere that, yeah, you gravitate towards. I love that. I love that. So, day to day here
Yep.
in
Mm-hmm.
Melbourne, what
Yes.
does a day in your life look like from a writing perspective, but also from a mother, wife, everything else perspective?
It's not as exciting as you would think. I try to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
get some writing done before my shift at work,
Yeah.
and then I'll come home, be with my kids, and then once hubby goes to work, I'll do by 6 o'clock, it'll be dinner, bath, jammies, and then by 8 o'clock we'll all start to unwind,
Yeah.
and then 8:30, 9 o'clock I'll go into my office when hubby gets home and I'll jump my TikTok lives, I'll do writing sprints, and then I'll
Awesome.
stay up as long as my body lets me. So
Yeah, that's awesome. So you have a bit of a routine going on.
yeah, yeah, I have to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. I think that there's a power to the routine if you can. I know that sometimes people do have a bit more of a chaotic sort of like whenever I feel like it, but you prefer to have a structured set of time to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to with kids and work and trying to navigate because it's good to have the kids in a routine because if they're out of routine, they go nuts. So if I start my day off as routine, then
Yes.
everything falls into place. I mean, obviously not every day, everything can turn into a shit
Yeah.
show, but
Yeah.
yeah, I try and keep it as routine as possible. So
That's awesome. That's so good to hear. And I am a big advocate if you can do a routine, that would be ideal. I say that, but do I have a strict routine? Not really.
yeah, yeah,
Like I do, I'm a bit of a mood slash writer and reader, but
yeah.
I do think I need to take a leaf out of your book and do some sort of routine. So with like TikTok lives and doing writing sprints, is that like a new sort of trick that you've been thinking of to focus on writing?
Yeah, so at the start of the year, I have like these New Year's resolutions that I like to do. And going live on TikTok 3 nights a week was my main goal. And I have actually kept up to it unless, kids are sick or I'm sick. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen.
Mm.
But then for the month of March, like I have a strict deadline. Like I need to get this book by the end of the month. Like I've got 40K words. I need to get it done. And I find
Mm.
that if I write live in front of an audience, I lock in.
Oh,
And then sometimes, like, if am a bit stuck, then I read my passage to like my chat and they give me feedback as I go. So, yeah, it really helps.
wow. I
Yeah.
didn't even consider that before. Like I've heard, because I'm in kind of the illustration space, I've tuned in on people drawing in front of and
Yep.
doing lives with that. But writing, I mean,
Yeah.
that is an awesome way to keep yourself accountable.
Yes, yeah, and I also have like guests come up as well, and we do writing sprints together, and we have like a clock, and yeah, it's a whole thing.
Oh my God, I've got to join you on a live.
Yes,
I'll have to have
yes,
a sus and see what's going on because this is all new to me. And I think you know what? That's also a testament to your ability to pivot into new ways of marketing your
yes,
stuff.
yeah.
Incredible, Chloe.
Yeah, and I've noticed like if I post a video just before I go live, so that video is going through everyone's For You page, and they see my red ring and they go, "Oh, she's live. Let's go have a look." So I'm bringing in more new
Smart.
readers and more like bookish community. So yeah,
Interesting. So that's your
that's a
avenue
little
onto.
secret.
That's it. That's it. That's it. But it is something that I haven't seen being done before. Maybe
Yes.
because I am focusing, I guess, on Instagram. That seems to be where I gravitate towards. Look, I'll be transparent. TikTok confuses me. So I
Yeah.
very much am just like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. But now that you suggest that, I think that there are some
Mm-hmm.
learnings that I can use from what I've done on Instagram and bring it over because TikTok is a powerful tool to get
It is,
your stuff
yes.
out there. Yeah. No, that's really cool to hear. I'm gonna have to, yeah, join you on a live sometime. So
Sounds good.
put a pin in that. But yes, I should move on to another question that I have about your
Mm-hmm.
writing process, which is
Oh God.
what do you think is the hardest part about writing versus the most enjoyable part about writing?
That's a really hard question to answer because it really depends on the book I'm writing, the genre I'm writing, because I class myself as a multi-genre author. So
Mm.
at the moment, with my fantasy book, I've got to a point in my writing where I'm obsessed with it. Like I just want to sit down and just finish the book because I'm a plotter.
Yes.
So I like to write, I like to plan how many chapters this book's going to have, how many words it's going to have, and then each chapter I have like a theme of what's going to be in it.
Yep.
And so I'm up to the part where now I'm just about to break halfway in the book and it's gearing up. It's like go, 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 go. And I love the angst and the drama and the fast pace of it. So yeah, I'm really excited to get back into it tonight, I guess.
That's it tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. That's a very, very fun part about writing. And so, do you
Yes.
find that there is a challenge between swapping genres and having to change your mindset into writing in for romance versus fantasy, for example? Do you find that to be difficult?
Not really, because every theme in my book has romance. So I'm a romance writer. There will
Okay.
always, not always, but 98% chance there will be a happily ever after. I do have a book
Uh-huh.
that's not happily ever after, but that's another thing.
Mm.
But yeah, as long as like the theme is romance, there's, always love in the story, I guess. It's easier, but I am a person who likes to put a playlist on Spotify together before I start writing. So it helps me get into the mood and, try and write. So every book now has a playlist.
Love that. Love that. Do you put
Yeah.
like a QR code to the playlist in like the print or the publications of the books, or where can we find that?
Mm, no, but I always, sometimes drop it in my newsletter or post on
Newsletters.
social media.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean, if
cool.
they want to listen to the playlist, they can just message me and
Ah,
I
cool.
can just tell them, yeah.
Yeah, nice. So you use it to get you into the mood of writing your particular books.
Yeah, and like I've mentioned on live as well that like certain songs also um like help develop a certain scene in the book. Like
Yeah.
there's one song on my playlist at the moment that's very emotional, and there's a
Ah.
scene coming up that's going to be like, grab your tissues, you're going to
Oh
cry. Yeah.
my God. Well, thank you for the warning.
Yes,
But
yes,
no,
yes. But
that's funny. Yeah.
I've said like book two is my emotional book in the series. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it does kind of follow that pattern in well, I could imagine that it does where the first book in a trilogy is usually putting out like, setting the scene for things, and then book two
yeah,
really is an exploration into some heavier themes. Do you find that seems
yes.
to be? Yeah. something that you follow?
Yeah, it's kind of like book one's like building the world and getting to know the characters. Book two is like where it starts to like delve into, problems and
Problems.
emotional and then more connections and stuff. And then book three for my series, it's like a six-book series,
Yeah. Oh.
including the prequel. So,
Mm.
book two and three, two's more emotional. Book three is like where the world and the war is happening, and then yeah, it just delves off into little la la happy. So
That is very
yeah.
interesting. I didn't realize there were six in the series.
Yeah.
So, oh my
Well,
gosh. Yeah.
five originally, and then the prequel makes it six. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yes. But six is a great even number, especially I love a prequel. I love a prequel.
Yes.
So, yes, we'll have to get into that in a little bit. So, yes, I should jump into your latest publication, The Lure of Fire. I don't know, for
Yep.
people listening, it is a foil, it's a gold foil writing on a dark background with a triangle in the back, which is an orange triangle. I love foil. I love special editions. I think who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Yeah.
But it is beautiful. It's got the sprayed edges as well with black, with some orangey, red insignias on it, logos on it. So it is a very powerful looking book. So we should get into this a bit, Chloe. Can
hmm
you tell us what has drawn you into writing about elemental magic?
I think I've always loved elements. I mean, you live in an everyday world, the air, water, fire, um, air, water, fire,
And
earth,
nature,
obviously.
yeah,
Yep,
yep,
earth,
yep.
yeah, and then obviously spirit if you're one of those believers. So,
Yep.
and then I've read books on elements before, and yeah, I just the idea came to me, and I thought, yeah, why not?
Why not exactly? I'm the same as you. There is something so exciting about using elements. Were you a big Avatar The Last Airbender fan?
I never watched it,
Oh
so
my gosh, you got to watch that. Add that to your list because that was one avenue that I really enjoyed.
yeah.
Elemental themes and magic. But yes, you and I share that passion for elemental magic.
Yes,
And
yes,
so there's going to be six all up in this
yes,
series.
yep,
Can you give us an insight into the prequel as well? Because that one is bound by elements, is that right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
perfect. Look at that. That's the special edition of that one as well, and it's
yes,
got
yeah.
some gold foiling on it as well, bound by elements.
It's copper foil
Copper.
this time.
Beautiful. And there's a few different shapes, triangles, and it is the traditional shapes that you see for, oh, yes, for the elements. So we've got
Yes,
the
yeah,
right way triangle, the flipped upside down, and then the ones with um
the lines through.
the lines through, which represent the four commonly known elements. But there is
Yes, yes,
spirit as well.
yes. And in my book, I've made spirit a circle.
Ah, perfect. So spirit is represented with the circle and it encompasses all of those other
Yep,
triangle
yep, ties them all
icons.
in together. Yeah.
Yes. So you'll have to let us know. Oh, yes. Very good. Tell us what is bound by elements about.
So it's about Arthur. He's actually Bound by Elements is set 1,000 years before the Lure of Fire. So if you read the Lure of Fire, he's actually mentioned in the archives. So I wanted to bring him in and make him, his own story of like how he became so famous because he's Arthur the Great, right?
Yes.
So then I wanted to delve into like his story, how he became Arthur the Great, and in Bound by Elements, you get to hone in of how he became it. So he actually harnessed more powers than what he was born with. So he's a waterborn fae, and so he actually harnessed two more elements
Mm.
in that story. And then in my story, because if you become connected to more than one element, you actually become bonded to a mythical creature. And in his story, he got bonded to a griffin. And
Yes.
in this novella, I decided to do a little twist and write the griffin and the dragon POV in this story. So it's kind of like you get to like know their personalities a bit better, get to know like their high council and what the shift on his land, which is Archeria, like what happens to like the balance when he harnesses more than one of his powers. And yeah, it's kind of
Mm,
insightful into like the lore of all the magic in Archeria
yes.
and like the mythical creatures and stuff like that. So
I
yeah.
love it. 1,000 years before the Lure of Fire. So the Lure of Fire
Yes.
officially starts the 5 books in the, I'm guessing, modern day magic,
Yes.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah. I mean, if we
Urban.
had, dragons and yeah.
Yeah, if we had dragons and all that stuff. So it is like an
Yeah.
urban fantasy, is that right?
Wouldn't label it like that, but
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, for me personally, I don't do tropes. I don't do,
Yep.
all of those fancy genres. I just stick to, yep, it's, fantasy.
It's
That's,
fantasy. Yeah,
yeah.
nice. That is so exciting. So fire is the big overarching element in the Lure of Fire, but will each of the following books be a representation of the elements in your universe?
Yes. So I'm going to give you and your listeners the little early snippet. Book two is based on Air Court. It's called The Promise of Air. So we get to delve into more of Air Court and meet Lord Tatum a bit more and focus on like his way of living and all of that. So yeah, it's very exciting.
Thank you for that tidbit of information. Oh my goodness.
Yes,
So
yeah,
now we know everyone who is a big Chloe O'Connor fan. You just heard it here first that the next book in the
yes.
series is about air. My goodness. So they travel to the court of air, is that right? We're traveling into that space.
Yeah,
Mm.
so it doesn't start off in Air Court where we, delve more into the friendships and, go to the front lines of the battle and because they've just left the academy and all of that. So trying to reconnect with old family members and all of that. And then once, like I said, I've hit the apex of them going to Air Court. So that's where the book theme comes in. And yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. A lot will go
Yes.
down. That is so cool. So there's a lot of Fae elements in this as well as like
Yes.
traditional fire, earth, and air and water. Are
Yep.
you, for people that haven't read the book and all that stuff, can you give us an insight into the type of people and powers that are associated with using the elemental magic? Do you have to be born of a certain lineage, or is it something that's natural within?
So anyone who's born in their particular court harnesses that power.
Nice.
So obviously they're in war with the humans who don't harness power, but they have worked out a way to draw it from the land, and they create their own like ugly and mean creatures. So that's why the Fae are in war with the humans,
Yeah.
essentially because it's evil, I guess.
Evil. Yep.
Um, but each Fae who like for water court, for instance, each Fae harnesses water as a power, but they don't essentially have the same type of power to
Yeah.
harness water. So one Fae could harness, boiling water, or another
Ah,
Fae could harness icy water. But as long as the water element is like within them, they can
yes.
harness it.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily
Yep.
have to be you're surrounded by water in order to conjure it. It can be something that comes out of you.
It's within, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. Yes, because that's an interesting parameter that you've put on the elemental magic, for example, because like a bit of a contrast between the world that I've created with elemental magic is that the limitations do lie in you have to kind of be around it to use it. It doesn't
Yep.
like come out as such, but I
Yep.
love with the parameters that you've put with the water, for example, that if you can only harness the boiling water, you can't do the icy water. Is that right?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Interesting,
Yeah,
interesting.
and then each like court has like their own drawn magic. So water court's always based near the ocean.
Yep.
Fire court has a massive volcano.
Yeah.
Air court's like their palace, like the Lord has to be like his palace up in like the clouds, and then
Clouds.
Earth surrounded by trees and nature, and
Yep.
so it's kind of like that's how they harness that's how like they were born and harnessed from the land. It's kind of like where um they where they are born, it's only like how they can harness like within, if that makes sense. It's kind of it's hard to
Ah.
explain, but
Yep.
earth surrounded by trees, you can only harness earth power.
Yep.
You can't go to like, so if someone was pregnant and travels to water court and they be born um
Oh.
in water court, they won't harness water power because they were conceived in earth court, and because they and
Interesting.
because their parents were earth powered as well. So
So it passes down like a genetic sort of thing. Yeah.
yes, and the thing is, in my book, the law is you can't marry outside of your court. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yes.
obviously they do, and they have like an off breed, and they're I wouldn't say like they're forbidden, but it's
Yeah. It's frowned
not
upon.
like yes,
Mm,
yeah. So that's
mm.
why they are very quiet in their village, and yeah,
Wow. Very interesting. I love that. So
yes.
there's a lot of like politics that go on.
Yes, yeah. And so you've got like the High Council that I've just introduced in book two of the Academy. So the Academy has a council as well as each Lord and Lady of the court. So they basically have the final say. But the High Council in the Academy, they, in my book, they've kind of like sent off an assassin to end someone's life
Mm.
of a fae, I guess, without
Yes.
diving too much into it. But then obviously the Lord and Lady of each court have to come together and decide that no, that's wrong, you can't do that. So
Yes. A lot of
it's quite
internal
political.
things.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
And life is. So that's an exciting, exciting story. So I can't wait
yes.
to see more of what's coming out next.
Oh
So
goodness,
I
yes,
know
yeah. Lots of
yeah,
lots of Easter eggs that I like to plant as well. So yeah,
can't wait to see all that stuff.
yeah.
But if I could give you a spitfire question and you just answer off the
Mm-hmm.
top of your head, what is your
Mm-hmm.
favorite element? Go.
Water.
Okay, done. Love it.
Always water.
Love it, love it,
Yeah.
love it. Definitely love water. I'm a bit of a fan of water as well. Still waters run
Mm-hmm.
deep and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
love that. So that
Yeah.
is very exciting for you, Chloe. Um, if I can get into maybe looking ahead into some future projects, I'm
Yep.
so excited to get into your latest endeavor, which is the Bookish Amour event. So, can
Yes.
you tell us a bit about what's happening in November?
Yep. So I wanted to create an event where it wasn't just a book signing. I didn't want because there's so many nowadays, like you can just fill in an EOI, expression of interest, and
Yep.
go, yep, I want to sign. But for my event, I want it to be more about the authors. I want them to network with other authors and editors and proofreaders and cover designers and illustrators, and I wanted this day to be just about them. I didn't want them to be stuck behind a table and sign books and meet readers. I wanted them to just be themselves and just
Yep.
relax and just yeah, just talk about their work, because obviously you and I, we're very passionate about our stories
Yes.
and what we've learnt and what we grow, and for this event, it's more directed to the aspiring writers, the debut authors, the newbie authors, even the authors like me who've been around for nearly a decade. So, we can always learn something new.
Oh, you say that, but I very much look up to you for being such an arbiter in this space where you are providing spaces for people that are new to the industry to come to an event and learn something like this and practice as authors as well with the writing
Yep.
sprints and being themselves, but also a chance to network too, because it's pretty important, isn't it, to network?
It is, yeah, and I've learnt in this industry you have to have friends, author
Yeah.
friends. Like if you don't have anyone, then you're all alone. You don't have anyone to bounce ideas off, or if you get stuck, you don't have anyone to navigate to try and get back into your story. Writer's block is the big thing that I want to discuss, and yeah, so I
Yes.
just wanted to give them a platform as well and ask questions, and that's why the first hour of the event is just for authors to sprint to
Yes.
write because you and I know it's really hard to find time. So if we all get together in a quiet room or they get headphones and listen to their own music, just 1 hour of writing. That's all I want. And obviously there's a competition, whoever writes the most words in that hour gets a prize. I mean, who wouldn't, right?
There are some people that would love to do that competitive stuff and that appeals to them. I certainly
Exactly.
won't probably be able to compete, but I will be there writing and getting in the zone. But that is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, just look around the room and go, oh my God, I'm here amongst like 20 plus authors just writing. And I'll probably get emotional just looking at that side. But yeah, it's
Oh,
something that I've really wanted to work towards. And then the next hour is I'm having vendors there now so they
yes.
can offer, bookish goodies or, collaborate with other authors. And then the next hour is when readers come in. And so I've set it as the authors who want to open their
The
what do you call it? The
tables and
pre-orders. Yeah.
pre-orders. Yes. Yep.
Yep. So instead of like sitting behind the table and, selling books on the day, it's strictly pre-orders. So if they don't have any books for
Ah,
readers to pick up, they don't have to worry about it. But it's them still to make a way to, you know, earn money,
I
Like I
love
didn't want that
that.
to block that off. So yeah, and then we'll
Yes.
have like 45 minutes of a panel where,
Yep.
we'll have authors come up and talk and,
Yes.
editors. I'll have a traditional published author via Zoom.
Oh, awesome.
Um,
Yes.
and then lunch is catered. And then we'll have like what I've introduced, like a speed dating type thing. So authors get to choose to be a mentor and they can talk to readers or talk to other authors. And 5 minutes, have a quick chat, want to know everything about you or ask quick questions about your work or what you're doing next. And then the next minute they go into the next author. So
Oh
yeah.
my God. I know that I signed up for this and I know I will be a part of it, but hearing you
Yeah.
talk about it is getting me
Yeah.
so excited. And I'm
Yeah.
going to be pumping this. I mean, this episode will be showcasing what you've just said. And
Yeah.
I hope that this gets people so excited in this book world to come to the event and participate in all of these offerings that you have. It's just
Yes.
awesome.
Yep, yep, and there's also door prizes for the readers as well, and then I have like a special like goodie bag for the authors and raffle for the authors as well. That I'll have like discount codes for editors and proofreaders and cover designers that want to collaborate, and
Wow.
so yeah, I just wanted to give back to the community.
So
They've helped me
cool.
so much in the last 9 years, and if this goes really well, I want to take it interstate.
Oh, that would be incredible. There would be so many people
Yeah,
that would jump up and down to do this interstate. That would be
yeah.
incredible. Hey, you never know, it could be international eventually. I don't know.
Maybe,
Putting that
yeah.
out
And
there.
then for like the writing sprints, so authors who want, I mean, I have someone flying down from like South Australia to come down for the writing sprint in the day. And if they didn't want to fly for the day, I have the option to do Zoom. So you can write and sprint with the authors via Zoom for that 1 hour and still be in that atmosphere. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome for multiple means of accessibility. That is
Yes.
perfect. Love that,
Yep.
Chloe. I think that's the way to go in this day and
Yep.
age. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so exciting. I'm so pumped for this event. So
Yeah.
it is going to be on the 22nd of November 2026.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And what time does it start for each of the events? If you know off the top of your head, otherwise I can look it up.
Um, I
Have a
think
look if you want.
8 or 9 o'clock for the authors to come in, and
Yep.
then it goes on each hour. So
Yep.
I think
Yep.
we should be finished at about 3, 4 o'clock.
Perfect. Yeah.
quite a longish day, but I mean, the food's gonna be good, so I'm
You
making
say
good
it's
money from it.
long, but like I think that's pretty reasonable. Like that feels like some events finish up at 5. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you and I have been to events where it's longer with the day and the
Yes.
setup with all that stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be a fantastic event. And it's very unique because I don't think we've had anything quite like this in Melbourne in particular. I'm not too well versed interstate, but it sounds like a fantastic idea that is very new and fresh.
And then I have a actual like book signing for 2029. So, and I've already got over 100 expression of interest. So,
It's
yeah.
crazy how people are thinking
Yeah.
of like, yeah, I think you've got it locked and
Yes.
loaded there, Chloe.
I mean, I had to change the date from 2028
Yep.
because one weekend, I think there was rumored that Rare was going to be that weekend or that month.
Ah,
And then I changed to another month. And I heard someone actually in Sydney was going to do a book signing on that weekend. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just change years.
it's so funny how like you've got to anticipate these kind of like big events coming on, but it is
Yeah.
important. It is important. I mean, one thing that I think about just recently about how Book Fair Australia in Melbourne was on the same day as one of the book booth fantasy specific events, I think. And
Castle, yeah, which was one I was at.
ah,
Yeah.
yes. So we were in different places. We were in different places, which
Yeah. Yeah.
is awesome for all these opportunities. But yeah, it is one of those kind of crazy things where sometimes things can happen on the same day and you go, oh my
Yeah.
God, what can I do? So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's difficult.
And I've made Bookish Amour like day signing a little bit different to the standard signings but you and I both go to or readers attend.
Yes.
So yes, we'll have like books to sell on the day and merch and everything, but they'll be turned into show bags.
Love that. Love
So
show bag.
every author, every vendor can turn like their merch into an actual specific show bag. And that way you go, you know, Law File will have like the graphics for that one, the book, and all of that specifically for that show bag. And then I'll have two reader like quiet times where one will
Oh,
be more like the Red Room from 50 Shades, where it's a bit
oh,
dark, and then I'll have like a fantasy book nook type thing, and for like photos or to like sit down if you're overwhelmed, and
yes.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
important. Yeah, I think that more places I would advocate for more places to have some quieter reading time areas.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because they're big events.
Yes, and the way my vision for this event will be like more like book fair and rare and all of that. So yeah, it's going to
Wow.
be a lot of work, but it'll be so much worth it. So
It will be so worth it because I think you are always trying something new and you're always
yes,
ready to do something innovative. And I think this is the way that, as we were talking about at the start of this chat, the way to sustain momentum in this industry. So the fact that you are now already in a place where you've written books and you continue to write books, but now you're taking this knowledge and putting it into an event is smart and exciting.
yep, yes, and a lot of work.
Yeah, I think you're no stranger to a lot of work, I will say. You're no stranger to a lot of
So
work, a lot of hard work, and that's how you make things possible. It doesn't come
yep,
easy, but
yep.
it's important. Yeah.
Yeah, and not only am I like doing the Bookish and more events, I'm actually the organizer of anthology as well. So I gather authors who want to participate in a certain theme, anthology, or genre, and I'd go from contracts to getting them on the same like level of writing, word count. I format. They have to source their own editor. That's the one requirement that they
Yep,
have to do, but there's
that's
no
fine.
buy-in.
Yep.
I do the paperback format, the ebook. I send out ARCs. I do all the promo, just so authors who haven't published before and is too nervous or too scared. I've had newbies come in and release their first book within me. So
Wow.
yeah,
That's so exciting. I know that that would be such a great way to get your foot in the door by
yes,
putting a short story into an anthology. Then it's already on,
yep,
like you can start ahead on your Goodreads profile with
yes,
having that
yep.
already there.
Yep. So I've released three last year. I've already released two this year, and I've got six more to go.
6 more to go. My
Yep.
God. Do
Yeah.
you stop, Chloe?
No.
We're just chained to it. It's just what we do. We can't
Yep.
stop.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah.
am in awe of everything that you're doing. So kudos to you. Massive, massive kudos to you, Chloe, for everything that you do for yourself, but also for the author community, because
Yeah.
we all appreciate it. Finally, to wrap up this amazing chat today, Chloe, can you let us know where people can find you on the social media realm, and
Yep.
where can people find your books to purchase? Let us know.
Yep. So I'm on Instagram, Chloe, author
Oh,
underscore C Renee.
yes.
I'm on TikTok, author C Renee. I have a readers group, Chloe's Elemental Romantics, I think.
I love
I think that's
that.
it. Yep.
Yep.
I have a newsletter. I'm on Patreon. So if you want to get exclusive behind the scenes, I also send my subbies at least once a week of like snippets of my scenes or not seen yet to the public of like graphic arts that Monica does for me. Yeah, just what else am I on? What else am I
Substack.
on? Yes,
Substack
I'm
you're
on
on.
Substack. Yes, I mean it's fairly new, so that's why I don't
It's all
remember
right.
it.
Don't
Um,
stress. Just go follow.
yeah, yep. My books, they are on Amazon, but they also are on my website. You can purchase through me. If you purchase through me, they come signed and they come like with lots of goodies. So yes, and I am attending so many events this year. I'll be at
Yes.
Thousand Lives next month. I'll be in Adelaide in May. I will be, what else am I doing?
I'll be with you
Secret
too.
Pages in November,
Oh,
in
free.
September. Yes, yes. And I've just got accepted into another one in October.
Oh my
There's another one in
gosh.
August. Yeah, so
Wow. I think we're going to be running into each other a fair amount of times, because
yes,
you're going to be everywhere. You and me
I
both.
am. Yep. Yep.
We're going to be just busybodies doing what we need to do in this indie author space to get the word out there about our fabulous books. But
Yes.
with that, I should say a massive thank you, Chloe, to offering such incredible insights into your indie author world. 9 years in the business, another 9 years to go, times
Yes.
whatever, because you're not slowing
Yep.
down.
No, no. If anything, I'm gearing up. Watch
Exactly.
out.
We love that. Just it just goes to show that if you have the drive to continue going, this industry will give and give and give. If you've got the passion for it, you can pave your
Yes.
way in it.
Yep. That's exactly it. You gotta have the passion.
You
Otherwise,
gotta,
don't do it.
that's it. That's it. You got to have the passion. Otherwise, it won't work. But with that,
Exactly.
Chloe, I should say thank you so, so much for being on the show. And I hope you've enjoyed yourself today.
I have. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for watching the Indie Author Live show. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you want to know more about my own literary journey or the journey of some of our guests that you might have seen on the show, please consider subscribing or following my Substack or my YouTube channel. Finally, if you want to know more about my novel, Still Waters Run Deep, it is available on many distribution websites such as Amazon, Etsy, Baventi, you name it. All that information will be in the show notes if you're interested in learning more about my story to do with elemental magic and coming of age. Take care, everyone, and see you in the next episode.